Home run, slam dunks, give him six. Boys at MII, they got your big orange face. All year long is the place to be to hear some Vols for life talking Tennessee. You can hate us if you want, but we sure ain't worried about you. We got more important issues.
Shout out once again to Levi Ogle for bringing us back in to More Important Issues live on Fan Run Radio. Okay, we had the idea for spooky version. I want a version with us as backup vocals. We got more important issues.
Ooh, I don't know if I can hit that.
You might need.
You can go the tenor. You can go. Yeah, you can go high
You
note.
might need to go high note.
Let me harmonize it.
High note? I think I might go lower.
More important issues.
Well, we're gonna need one of them. Levi's pretty low voiced.
Yeah.
I'm not getting up there.
I mean, Landon, we can bring the Hawks back to life for this one.
I think you just like say it, but don't really say it. Something like that.
I mean,
That was pretty good.
Thanks, Joey. I appreciate that.
Levi's going to scratch that one from the whole idea book, Landon. I think we just bring the Hawks back together and we nail it out, and it'll be all right.
Yep.
Speaking of getting the band back together, they started to at Texas. We saw a version of it after that. Whatever happened in Gainesville. And then Wednesday night was maybe the took them 20 minutes. But
Oh, man.
the band came back together. I mean, 25 in the first half. I didn't listen to the halftime voluntary reaction. I bet it was, or was there just a post game last night? I can't remember.
Post-game.
I know there was a post game. I bet if there was a halftime, it was legendary.
Sad.
Oh, anger probably more than maybe just sadness. Maybe I'm wrong.
What do you think the whole halftime speech was? Do you think it's just like, hey guys, it would be cool if we could like make a shot? Have y'all decided on doing that yet? That would be fun.
See, it probably was something like that. Rick strikes me as when they go down, so they go into the half down 1, 25-26. They weren't playing good. They're down 1. He strikes me as a guy that's like, hey, we're in it. Just got to knock down some shots. Got to take the open ones. Got to be patient when they're not there. And we're in it. Like we're down 1 and you played the worst half of basketball you played all year.
I also feel like he could say, like, guys, we gave up 26 points on defense. Are you kidding me?
See, I feel like it's when they're up. If they were up 15 going into the half and and Georgia scored 26, I think that is. He seems, like I said, he always seems more pissed off when we
play well
when we're in the lead
yeah.
Than he does when we're down. Now, he also strikes me as and I've been there, the blackout anger type where he gets in there angry and just starts ranting.
Yeah.
And doesn't really know entirely what all he's saying. He's like getting some stuff out from months ago.
He would rather win 51-50 than 100-70.
Sure. And he might have went like classic Adam Massey, they're terrible, you're worse, which is my favorite halftime speech of all time. It's a great one. That it could have been that, because that was fairly true. Not that Georgia's terrible, but they weren't good in the first half, and Tennessee was worse.
Yeah, and I guess they got a little something going for them at home, but they were not impressive at all. I thought Asa Newell would, and he scored 13 points, but I didn't think he was anything just special. And maybe that's just because Tennessee plays really good defense. They have some size to kind of shut him down, but I know he's a freshman, but he didn't look anything. He didn't look any better than Igor or Ogpara, in my opinion.
No, he didn't. And I think that's where Georgia struggled more than Florida and more than Texas is Tennessee has the defensive advantage, and they're going to against most teams. But I think they also had the physical advantage. Mm-hmm. I think they also had that advantage for them last night, and it wore down on Georgia.
Yeah. And I know the first half was bad, and it was bad. But, I mean, you won by 18 points, and you're
You were up by 20 at one point if you want to get nitpicky, and you let them back in it.
Yep. But Chaz Lanier went 2 for 16 from the field. How many teams in the country have their leading scorer that scores? How much is he scoring now? I mean, it definitely went down.
Right.
17, 18 a game,
Scores.
and win by 18.
That's good. That's a good numbers pool. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't know.
And I promise this will not be the last time I compare this team to last year's with Chaz Lanier and Dalton Connect. I mean, it's a good comparison to have between these teams. And like people say you can't compare them, and I mean I kind of believe it's true, but like that's what you're gonna do.
Sure.
I think that's kind of where I've said the difference is all year with this team is Dalton Connect scores 5 points, Tennessee loses. That's just not the case. You have a more well-rounded team. Evidence of that, Jordan Gainey scoring 19 last night, going 6 of 12 from the field. And then you also, Jemai Meshack, is he back?
I'm glad you brought up Jemai Meshack. This is what I wanted to say earlier. I think he has something against black and red teams.
Okay.
He sees the color and it's over.
How does he feel about maroon and gray, I guess?
We're going to find out. We're going to find out because he has scored in double figures in 3 games this year. They're against Gardner Webb, Austin P,
okay,
and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay. Is Austin P black and red, or I thought they were just like a black and white team? Are they black and red?
Yeah.
Okay.
Red. Yeah.
All right. No, I knew they were red. I thought they were a red and white team. Okay.
Yeah.
They also have camo in there, by the way.
That's true.
It needs to be noted.
Couldn't see it.
That's crazy, by the way. I don't think we talked about that enough. And I know it's probably for a good reason, but it's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, he scored his season high last night with 11 points.
And he didn't miss. I know he didn't shoot a ton, but he didn't miss. And the few times he did catch and shoot, he looked incredibly comfortable. And confidence is definitely a big thing for him. So it's good to see him get that confidence back because you can't have him be a dead spot on the offensive side of the court.
Yeah.
We talked about, me and Joey went on Chase Thomas podcast, did our weekly home and home there. This week you can find it on the Chase Thomas podcast YouTube. And he asked, do you start Darlington Dubar there now and start working out a different 5? And I was like, I don't hate the idea, but also I think Jemai gives you enough. But truthfully, you need him to give more offensively, or otherwise, if Dubar keeps having nights like he did against Texas, like at some point if you're Rick Barnes, you have to consider that switch.
Yeah, you're probably never going to see that switch, but I definitely think you could see minutes diminish.
I think you probably see minutes diminish just because you're going to try to get Dubar on the court more.
Mm-hmm.
I think it only happens if Jemai Meshack can't produce offensively as we go through SEC play.
Yeah.
And if he continues producing offensively, I don't think that switch is ever made. And it definitely, if he keeps producing offensively, it never needs to be made.
Yeah, I do feel like, Tennessee doesn't have very many scholarship players, but with your bench playing, like Dubar obviously didn't have a great game statistically last night, but Jordan Gainey and Cade Phillips, Cade Phillips last night looked every bit as
Not
good
injured.
as yeah, that too. But he looked every bit of good as anybody on the court when he was scoring those 8 points in 8 minutes.
Yeah, Cade's going to be a big part of this team. So to see, and I put on after the Florida game and even talked about it on Sunday, I think we're going to find out he's more injured than we were told, we realized, and they just need him to tough it out because it's not season ending. I hope that it was something that he can work past. He looked comfortable last night. He didn't look as uncomfortable the past few games. You need him not just for literal numbers. Need him to play. You also need those minutes when Akpar or Igor are on the court. You need Cade Phillips.
Yeah. Also, White not foreign. It reminds me a little bit of Dane Bradshaw.
You're gonna get a lot of people excited with that name. You're gonna offend a lot of people with that name.
Is Dane Bradshaw not liked?
I think he's just my understanding from the people that are not his biggest fans. It's not that they don't like him. They just think he gets more love than he deserves.
Okay, for being a average basketball player here.
Correct.
Okay, I could see that. I think he's a nice guy. I think he does well on the calls too. So
Yeah, no, I'm a big Dane Bradshaw fan.
Okay. Okay,
I've read.
You're not one of those people.
I've read his book 3 or 4 times. It's a great book. I read it 3 or 4 times.
Jeez.
Cap. You read a book 4 times?
It's not a long book.
The
It's
same
not.
book?
It's not
okay.
a novel.
All right.
It's
How many,
a
like 100, over 100 pages?
You know, probably close to it because there is a lot of. What's cool about it is it goes through a senior year at Tennessee.
Why'd you read it 4 times?
It's a. I mean, first off, it's about Tennessee.
I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times.
But it's just a great book. It tells a story. I guess it's a little motivational in the fact that, like,
Okay.
you know, he's a scrappy guy, if you will.
Your blood
It's
flowing
got
a little bit.
yeah, it's got
It's
some
like
good,
me and Joey hugging.
it's got some really good stories in it as well. Like it's an entertaining book. I've read it. I mean, it came out like he probably released it in like 2008, probably. So I mean, we're talking over the span of what's that? 14 years?
16. Right?
No, yeah, 24. I was thinking 22 for some reason. Yeah, 24. 16 years. That doesn't. I mean, it's not. It's not a. I don't know. It's not a Harry Potter book, Joey. And those people will read those 15 times.
Right, because it's not like that. I get. I'm also not a book guy. I would listen.
I'm not a
I've
book
watched
guy
a movie like 20 times before. So maybe if it's got the same level of motivation.
Nah. What movies do you watch for motivation? Because maybe.
Coach Carter?
Fair. This is probably a weirdo move. I will just sometimes listen to Any Given Sunday's speech.
Okay.
You got to fight for that inch. Friday Night Lights speech. Every once in a while. And Miracle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say "Remember the Titans." They don't gain.
There's not like a big like locker room speech in there, but yeah, I mean I quote that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's along the same lines. I don't really listen to it for motivation. I just think it's awesome.
Or
like
Inky,
movie scenes.
Inky Johnson clips over and over again.
Yeah.
Get you
I
going.
haven't listened to an Inky one in a while. Maybe I need to get the blood flowing.
Well, like in college, I heard him speak like 4 or 5 times, and it was like the same.
You have it
story.
memorized?
It was like the same story. So I just assumed that was all of it. Well, I was in a meeting a couple years ago, and they're like, "Yeah, we're playing Inky Johnson." I'm like, "Heard this one."
God. What if they had played?
And it was different. I was like,
If
"Okay."
they had played
well,
Herb Brooks,
okay.
you would have listened. You would have been tuned in.
Yeah.
You jerk.
Yeah, I felt bad, but yeah. So I do watch the clips now because I just assume they're all the same.
They might win 9 out of 10 times. Not tonight.
Yeah, Georgia wasn't
You
winning that
outskate them. Is this like Miracle on Ice? Like the Russians were not going to win, the Soviets weren't going to win. It was Tennessee's night. Is that what
Georgia
we're comparing
and
it to?
Russia, that's probably a good comparison.
Okay, I mean, sure.
Red.
A lot of red. A lot of red. Somebody needs to look into that.
Jemai
program.
hates it.
Do you? I don't know if we need to get into this right now. I read this stupid long article on Reddit that it was. I can't believe I read it. Kirby got a law passed when he became the Georgia head coach to delay the records release. Like if records were requested about like student athletes, he got a law passed to delay that.
Oh. I thought you were going to say something about like a traffic law, and I'm like, good.
Well, I mean,
God.
like you can't. I don't really know what that does for Georgia necessarily.
Yeah.
But it sounds scandalous to me. I think people should look into that.
There you go.
It's called
like
Kirby's Law.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, I think someone needs to do some investigative journalism down in Athens.
I'm in.
Oh, are you doing it?
I said I'm in like for somebody to do that. Okay. I'm not actually in to do it myself.
Okay. All right, back on Russia. Georgia. We need to start really driving home. I like that comparison. A lot of pro-Russia people lately. I don't like it. I think my favorite part about this game and every game, and I didn't realize this would ever be a hot take, but I guess it's a hot take when I say, like, people always like are taken aback when I'm like, Sakai Ziegler is my favorite Tennessee Vol of all time. And they're like, oh, basketball? No. You take any Tennessee athlete, coach, put him up to Sakai Ziegler, in my mind, number 5 from New York, Sakai Ziegler. That's my favorite player. And last night's a good example why. He gets the record for career steals. I mean, the post-game interview with the entire team, like, this is an award for him. It's his award. It's his name. Has the entire team with him. He's turned Rick Barnes into a teddy bear. What is not to love about Sakai Ziegler?
He's the best. There's one thing I would like for him to do better. If he could hit one floater, he would probably be the best player ever on planet Earth, pound for pound. But yeah, that is one thing I wish he just had that in his arsenal. Like, I feel like
he wants to have it in his arsenal. Does that make you feel better?
He does, but man, I just like that's the one shot in basketball that I'm fairly okay in. I'm like, man, can I just like give that to you where you could just be okay at it where it's there?
Yeah.
Maybe
it'll start falling.
Got to keep doing it.
You got to keep shooting.
Yeah.
You got to keep shooting. If he had hit that steal before the half and hit it,
oh man,
buddy, tarps off for me. It would have been.
Well, it is crazy because I am sure with it being a late Tuesday night game, there was people at halftime probably left. Or sorry, Wednesday that left.
You think so? Like thinking we're gonna lose, they just dipped out.
Probably not.
The
they're like, man, I just don't really want to stay up for this.
Okay.
So they left, and there was instant regret because
probably
they missed out. Like, Joey, you were there. Like, how can you explain?
Give me the vibes in the student section.
Like from halftime until like we go on a 26-6 run to open the second half.
I mean, it was pretty like typical Tommy Bowl. Like, it feels very geriatric for the first half, and you're just like, well, I mean, obviously students are always kind of fired up, and obviously I just was ripping into anybody I could. But that, you know,
is that well received when you just start yelling at peers?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a warning in like a season, like all season. So you've gotten warnings? Yeah.
From staff or from peers?
Staff.
Oh, okay.
No, peer warnings don't count. That's just a friendly suggestion. But then once the second half picked up, it got rowdy as usual. I mean, the place didn't start popping until, that really big second half run, but everyone enjoyed seeing Chaz get this first field goal right at the end of the first half, so that kind of maybe a little bit of action.
There was a little bit of hope. He gave us some hope that there is better things to come. Just wait.
Right.
What is your call to action? Because you're a nice guy. I imagine something like, come on, guys, they really need us.
Is that you?
Really could not be further from the truth. If I even gave like an eighth of what I gave, we would probably get booted off the air.
Okay, have you tried the really
be
nice
Joey booted instead of Joey booted?
Quite literally, I should be Joey booted out of the Tommy Bowl. The fact that we haven't, also somebody,
we don't want an ejection, Joey.
And it wasn't me, but he asked if it was me and the people near me. Someone had a flashlight on during free throws for Georgia last night, so we got flashlight gate because nobody around us had a flashlight on, but miraculously there's some flashlights. So I think there's some collusion going on. Didn't work clearly for Georgia, but.
Probably
if you see some fishy flashlight business, just know it wasn't me. Promise.
Would a flashlight be that distracting? There's camera flashes.
No.
Like that doesn't seem it's not worth the effort. Potential to get kicked out. The fact that you're sneaking in a flashlight.
I've seen other schools do it, like phone flashlight. Like I've seen schools like
it would be different if it was like a laser.
Well, yeah, right, or like a 3,000 lumen. But I mean, just if everyone pull out their flashlights, I feel like that should be allowed. Is that? I've seen it.
You can't stop us
certainly.
You should do that.
Games.
You should do the come on guys, everyone get out your flashlight.
Are we sure it was a flashlight?
I don't know if we may never know.
True.
You should try to get everyone to do the phone flashlight for a free throw.
I did contemplate last night. I thought, okay, so maybe like Florida.
I mean, they're just going to tell you to not do it again. They're not going to boot you for it.
Especially if 100 people do it. Are you going to get rid of your entire student section in a giant SEC
Which
matchup?
would be awesome to see. I
that
mean,
would be cool too. 'Cause
it would
then
be-
everybody else gets fired up too.
Right.
They're like, oh yeah, you want to kick those 100
You
guys out?
you would have people behind Rick Barnes, the old heads, tarps off for it. Like they would get fired up. I think that's what we need.
Old Blue
I
Hairs.
can if I'll do it if it's gonna happen, it'll be for Florida. So
Okay.
just if you hear anything about it on ESPN,
How was it when
wasn't
Zakai went on that? I guess it was a minute and 10 seconds where he hit the 3 threes.
oh it was hot. It fired up.
The heat check was awesome. I was like, no way this goes in.
Yeah.
Was there people just jumping around the student, people falling?
Oh yeah, I was all over the place. Everyone was Sturl, who I'm usually not a fan of,
Yeah.
which I get a lot of heat for that. Love the guy, but sometimes it's just sometimes a little odd.
It's okay if you do. You're in the student.
Oh
Him-
yeah,
him
for
doing
sure.
it's
No,
kind
I'm
of like
also- yeah.
ugh.
But he's
It was his flashlight.
it's easier
is what
during
you're
that's
saying.
probably what it was. It's easier during basketball, but even he was fired up about it, and he was enjoying my
I've plugged my ears
Shenanigans.
more than once this year.
yeah.
It's so loud.
Ow!
It's so loud. It's
Okay,
unbearable.
The speakers in TBA last night were on something because it was. I was
I
walking up
heard
to the
that too.
bathroom, like I was going to the bathroom, and this was still. There's probably 15 minutes left till tip off. Whatever music they were playing was so loud, and maybe I'm just rusty. Maybe coming out of the break.
yeah,
that's
that's
probably what it is. My ears
probably
just
it.
But
Gotta get used to it.
reacclimated.
God,
Yeah.
I'm getting old. It's too loud. I'm bringing back those baby headphones.
I do want to send you guys to the break on this note. We talked about this before the show. Breaking news: Red Panda did perform at Virginia Tech tonight, which puts her in the vicinity of Knoxville. That's about a 4.5 hour drive. So
But where is she going to do that in between now and Tuesday?
there's other college games she'll go to. She'll probably go to a
Right.
different one on Saturday, and then she'll be in Knoxville on
right.
either Tuesday night or Saturday night.
I believe it. I'm all for
So
the Red Panda.
get ready. Red Panda's coming to town, boys and girls.
Can we just? I mean, we got to know
coming to
somebody.
town.
We got to know somebody that can confirm whether or not Panda will be the.
I'll work on it.
Also,
I'll see what I can
halftime
find
show
out.
last night, like a little maybe 8-year-old AAU or elementary school basketball game. Fire! I think we have the next Caitlin Clark. I mean, just
Okay.
drilled a three, nearly a buzzer beater.
Like regulation NCAA men's.
Where were they at? Like, where are they from? Like
Behind,
Knoxville?
they were playing full court, 10 feet rims. These
Probably
girls were like,
CYFO.
these girls were literally
That's
like
what
2.5
it
feet
is.
tall. I mean, like, literally, like that's all. I mean, she had to chuck it, like shoulder chuck it, but
That's still sick.
it's
I
cash.
mean, that's what Kim Caldwell wants them to do.
She made as many
Chuck
threes as
it.
Chaz Lanier did, so
Keep scoring.
I
Triple
hate it.
digits, baby.
What was the score of that game before we go to break? Let's give the
7-4.
listeners what they want.
7-4.
No. The Lady Vols, they play Mississippi State tonight. I mean, thank you for telling me that. That was good information to know, but not that one.
And it was 4-4 till the buzzer beater. That's what made it.
It is
That's sick.
66-56.
Lady Vols,
Lady
still up?
Vols. Lady
Let's go.
Vols.
Guys, stick with us on the other side of the break. We've got a little more basketball to talk before we head elsewhere. We'll be right back. More important issues on Fan Run Radio. And Joey is getting in the mood for his, come on, guys. They need us.
My Squid Games music.
Yeah. No, that was a banger. That's what we asked for. We got a banger. I mean, it was no Jello, but we'll do. It'll do. What is it? BHF? BHF forever. I think it's a great idea, but Big Hooper is Zakai Ziegler. He'll probably buy a shirt.
He might steal it too. Six steals.
And it's pretty cool that
That's
they're going to
not-
retire his number when he's gone, like immediately. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that'll be Rick Barnes' like last thing before he retires.
Well, number 5's already retired. He's the last.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Lofton.
Which I do feel like number 5 has a legacy enough. I feel like you could.
Give it to your heart and soul of the team.
I think so.
I think so too.
That's the only number that's allowed to change in any Tennessee athletics.
Well, and that could be the number where, like, I mean, obviously you're kind of doing some jerseys and stuff like that, but that could be like
That should be the number 1 they sell for basketball.
sure, yep,
You're absolutely right. Like they used to sell 16 all the time for Peyton Manning.
yeah,
You sell 5.
I agree.
Why did they stop doing that? It feels like all you get is number 1 in football.
I don't know why they did that.
And then they just don't put jersey.
I guess like they did Eric Berry, and then they did Alvin Kamara, and then he got in that trouble, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but they still have him on the Jumbotron, so it doesn't, whatever.
They did 98 for a while.
Yeah.
They can do 22 baseball jerseys.
No, they need 48.
I agree with that, but
I can't wait to see what number Ross Kivett's rocking this year. Excited to see that.
what was he last time?
I think 23.
That sounds right. Is that taken?
Is he 23? I think it was.
He should go with like a triple digit. He should either go 00 or 100.
I like that.
There can't be rules about numbers in baseball, right?
I think he just rocked like no number, just like a basic jersey that you can buy like anywhere.
Give me 00.
Okay, 00.
Give me 00.
Well, let's kind of put a bow on this basketball game real quick.
Sure.
This was the Kai Ziegler's game.
Like most nights.
Correct. Chaz Lanier, are you concerned? Kind of 2 games where he hasn't looked fantastic. So
I think the concern meter is moving.
mm-hmm.
I don't know where concern comes into play there. So I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah.
There's a little alert going off right now. I think SEC play is just so up and down. It's a long season. There's still a lot of games left. You're still winning. I know the Florida loss is tough, but we knew there's going to be losses. And thankfully, it was a loss on the road during the week. So it's like a kind of an expected loss. Obviously, you didn't want to lose that early, but it was kind of an expected loss. So I'm moving that way. But, I mean, he's got time to bounce. Like, I'm not on high alert yet.
The good thing is he's shooting still.
He's still shooting. The guy's still shooting. And
And it's not
And
like
this isn't-
it's a ton of force shots. Like a lot of
he
looks that he got
they're
last
still
night
trying to
were
find
open.
him. Yeah. And this isn't a knock on Dalton Connect. Because he gave you a ton on the defensive end later in the season. He got better. Chaz gives you something both ways.
Yeah.
So he is still a valuable part of the team. I'm not like, all right, moving on. Partially because we don't have the numbers to move on if we needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we could be on alert a little bit, but maybe let's not freak out.
Well, I mean, we got to just.
I mean, you won by 18 and he didn't shoot well. So, and I don't think he's a guy that we can expect him to get. He's not going to go 2 for 16, hopefully, very consistently.
Sure.
I
I also think this team allows him not to feel pressure. I hope he doesn't. If you feel pressure, it's just not going to get better. So I hope he doesn't feel that pressure. He doesn't feel he has to force anything. Just shooters got to keep shooting. Just keep shooting. I trust that with everything we've seen thus far this season, I trust it'll come back.
Yeah, I agree.
How do you feel about is Igor's up and downs on the offensive end? I feel he's making up for it on the boards defensively. Is that
Yeah, I just think he gives you some, like, I mean, he had 3 steals, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. He had 7 offensive rebounds. So, yeah, that's going to play.
it's nice. I mean, that offensive, burst
And the 3
was,
for 7 isn't bad from the floor.
No.
So,
And
especially a guy who's, like, that wouldn't look good if all of his shots were, like, right next to the rim, but he's also an outside shooter, too.
Sure. Yeah, and he's like, the offensive burst is great. Like, I'm going to love it every time we get it from him, but it's not, you don't need that from Igor. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's just, you were hoping maybe that.
And, like, I mean, those bigs have to continue to play well, or Cade Phillips is right there ready to take somebody's spot, because when he comes in, like, I don't know if teams are just like, who is this guy? But he's energy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to dunk on somebody. He might get 4 fouls in the span of a couple minutes. He didn't really foul the other night, but he's capable of doing that. But, man, he had 3 assists. I think 1 set up Zakai. A 3-point shot from Zakai. He had 4 rebounds. Only played 15 minutes. That's efficient. That's how you get more playing time. I don't know whose minutes he's taking, but I mean, if he's playing like that, Igor isn't going to play 32 minutes.
And I don't think you want a guy like Igor to try to play 32 minutes a game, and especially throughout this SEC schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I'm loving that needs to be talked about, Felix Okpara. He's on his way to Tennessee, and you lose maybe some, especially with the length that Jonas Adu provided around the rim. But rim protector, you were hoping he would be a little more elevated, more physical. He has 4 blocks a month of December. He has 9, 0 against Arkansas, which I'm like, a team like Arkansas, you needed him to be a rim protector.
Yeah.
9 through the last 3 games.
Yep.
Love to see it. He's been physical. He's been rebounding. He struggled a little bit against Arkansas. Got into foul trouble fairly early, right?
Against Arkansas?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't sit a lot, but I think he got
Yeah, probably.
foul. I think it was fairly early foul trouble. So he probably felt like he had to take some off. But 3 blocks through the last, or 9 blocks through the last 3 games, average of 3. And then he's also got 22 rebounds in the last 3 games, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just nothing comes easy
23.
for opposing teams. Like, there's no, like, easy layups. There's no driving to the basket when he's in the game. So he makes it hard on opposing offenses. And, when you can't score against Tennessee, I mean, we can ugly it up and then in a hurry get it going on offense.
Especially when Zakai Ziegler heats up like he did.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the heat check. I loved it. What were your thoughts as that shot went up?
I was hoping he'd steal it right back and shoot it again.
You thought he missed it? Or you're saying?
Yeah, I was hoping.
Well,
like,
on that
that
third heat check, not a great look.
Yeah.
But you're like, yeah, pull that every day of the week.
I would have done it.
Yeah, I would have pulled up sooner. I can hit from anywhere.
Yep.
I love Zakai Ziegler.
Yeah, that was fun. 11 steals. Forced 19 turnovers. I think he had 19 points off those 19 turnovers. Really good from the free throw line. Chaz Lanier didn't have his best night. I would say that's the worst you'll see from Chaz Lanier. 1 for 9 from 3.
Let's hope.
Tennessee won by 18.
Yeah. It doesn't get much better than that.
And you broke a record. You beat a Georgia team who had a ton of momentum going into this. Like, this wasn't just a game you probably should have won.
Right.
But it wasn't a game you should have, like, that. I think that came out of nowhere. The way that they beat Kentucky and who else did they beat?
They have beaten.
They beat Oklahoma, which I don't know. I think Oklahoma might be a fraud in the SEC.
Alert.
I think
Fraud
they
alert?
might be a fraud.
I mean, I'm with it. I'll support it.
Yeah, they lost to Texas last night, and it wasn't close until late in that game. So, yeah, they're 0-4 in the SEC, and they are ranked like what?
17th to start the year, I think. Or not to start the year, start SEC play.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
They lost to Texas at home. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, they played a home game against Texas? Like, that's different than football.
I would love, you're talking about that, I would love if every single sports team, like Georgia, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, just doubled down on the neutral site and they just never played each other at home.
Yeah.
I think that at that point you either say, all right, your home games are played at home, or you do at least, home, neutral, or you get zero revenue for basketball, zero, home revenue. You have to play every game neutral site.
Well, it's crazy because, like, we love to argue about sports, and one argument for Tennessee is like, oh, we have Neyland Stadium. Well, I mean, Texas and Oklahoma, like, they're big rivals. They can't, like, talk about atmosphere at all because they have no clue.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a great point. Speaking of atmosphere, Vols head to the weirdest atmosphere in the SEC Saturday. You got to, I mean, I know you really, really hate Memorial Gymnasium. Do you not want to go, though? I'm not going this week. I would love to go to a game at Memorial.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, when Tennessee's not there, it should be, like, free, right?
Sure. What is the cheap? What as low as $73? That's not terrible.
Is that it?
As low as 73.
Okay.
This Saturday.
Okay.
Ooh, it is a 12:30 tip. I don't know if I realized that. Why did I think it was like a 3:30? I thought, it is 3:30. If you look at the Ticketmaster, or not Ticketmaster, Vivid Seats thing on ESPN, it shows 12:30. ESPN has it as 3:30. Oh, well. Vols take on Vanderbilt. Then Mississippi State. You talk about a revenge game. I need Jamah to be on a revenge. That was a tough opponent last year. They look like the similar team as last year.
Yeah. Mississippi State, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a quote from A.J. Hogard at Vanderbilt. He said that they're treating Vanderbilt versus Tennessee like Michigan versus Michigan State. We don't like them, and they don't like us.
It's probably not the Michigan team or Michigan opponent I would compare it to.
Yeah, who's Michigan in this? Hopefully it's...
Where is he from? Is he from Michigan, at least?
I think he is from Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But
I don't like the connotation. It makes me feel like he thinks all Tennesseans are stupid, that he has to compare a rivalry game no one cares about to make us understand that we hate Vanderbilt.
Right. And also, if you've never played... Ooh, they did play Tennessee in that exhibition last year, and that's when Dalton Connect...
Yeah, that's when we found out about
all over him. Yeah.
That's when we found out about Dalton Connect.
Yeah, he probably does hate Tennessee.
He hates Tennessee?
Probably does. That's fine. See you Saturday, bucko.
We need to start calling more people bucko.
They just lost to, what, South Carolina?
Bucko and Buddy. I thought they ended up pulling that game off.
Oh, they did win.
Yeah.
That's right. They did win.
They've only lost one in SEC play to Mississippi State, actually, coincidentally enough.
Okay, till Saturday.
And Missouri.
Oh, they lost to Missouri?
They did lose to Missouri. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they're not good.
Never mind. They lost 2 games in the SEC. Missouri's down bad. Quit. You need to quit abusing them. It's getting... I'm going to have to call somebody at some point.
In Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate Missouri.
We know. And they know, too. I don't know how they find you, but they know.
They do not like me.
They are aware that you do not like them.
Yeah. They're just so irrelevant that they just hang on to the past too much. It's like, dude, can we move on to like something else? But they don't have anything to move on to. So,
well, and it's funny that you bring up, they'll bring up last year, and then you'll bring up the previous years, and they're like, oh, when Eli Drinkwitz was rebuilding,
Yeah.
Josh Heupel walked into a dream scenario at Tennessee. You're absolutely right. That 2021 season, the roster was loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So they're right about that. They're very, very, very intelligent people. We are Mizzou.
Yeah, and another intelligent person. Shout out Cal. He is finally winning something. Arkansas is now the worst team in the SEC. So good on him.
Number one NIL, right? Isn't that what they pounded their chest about this offseason?
Yeah.
Yikes. How amazing would it be if they fired him? It won't happen, but how lifetime contract and they fire him after year one.
I mean, Arkansas, if you're serious about your basketball program, you will do it.
How can you bring a guy in that is touted himself as a 1 year, I bring in 1 year guys, I can put teams together, and they're bad.
Yeah. And he basically number one NIL, they handpicked basically anybody they wanted out of the portal, and then they took all Kentucky's roster, and they're still bad.
Walmart and Tyson Chicken down bad.
Yep. Hate to
Down
see
bad.
it.
All right, guys, stick with us on the other side of this break. We're going to talk probably a little more basketball, but definitely talk some football. All the news around the football program, both good and bad. We'll talk about it all. Stick with us. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. Welcome back into the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. You want the bad news or the good news?
Let's start with bad and end good.
All right, well, you tell them then, Landon.
Tennessee gets some bad news on the injury front with All-American corner Jermod McCoy going down with a torn ACL. Just a big blow to that defense, that defensive backfield team in general. Not good. And especially like you have a guy like Jordan Matthews who is in that rotation, transfers to Vanderbilt. And I know he's supposed to be back by the 2025 season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just never know what that looks like with the
Right.
ACL. It's a weird injury, and like you can project and predict all you want to, but even if he is back, what does that look like? He's not going to play every snap on defense.
Sure.
You're going to get him kind of like easing back into things, and so how long does that take? And I don't know, just a tough injury for Tennessee. Probably their best. I mean, definitely their best defensive player returning, and just sucks.
Yeah, certainly not something you would even imagine like in the off season. Like it's not even gonna cross your mind that that's gonna happen. And here we are. So Tennessee is, it seems, hitting the portal and trying to
always
find
something.
someone to get. Maybe they sell a ton of playing time and turns out he's good and
Yeah.
you trick someone into helping you out on defense. I don't know. It sucks, but I think now with ACL surgeries, you're right. You still don't know, but now it seems like a lot of people come back. It's like Tommy John, come back better.
Mm-hmm. But
That's
there's
what we're gonna
also
hope.
some guys that like don't come back.
All
Like
right.
it takes
All
them
right,
a full
Landon.
year.
All
So
right. Well,
I just think like you don't. I wouldn't consider it a done deal that he's going to be back for the start of the 2025 season.
no, that's fair. And then you hope when he comes back, he
Is himself.
right. Then it's not a mental hurdle because that's usually what it is for most people. Is coming back from an injury like that, it's the mental hurdle, especially because it seems like this is a non-contact injury, entirely non-contact. So that's always a tough mental hurdle for sure.
Yeah, just brutal. 4 picks last year, and hopefully you return. I mean, right now I thought that was going to be your probably best group on this team was your corners with Ricky Gibson and Jermod McCoy returning. If Jermod McCoy is not able to go, it looks like it's going to be Ricky Gibson, maybe Jalen McMurray will be the next guy who's kind of the third corner anyway. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of who else can get in that rotation if McCoy is not full go by the start of the 2025. If Caleb Beasley is he in there? Can some of these freshmen get any run? Are you able to add somebody? It looks like you're trying to add the Purdue cornerback, Breedlove. It looks like he's not going to visit, just can't make it work with credits and whatever. I don't know how that works, but whatever. Tennessee's going to continue to look for one in the transfer portal, look for depth, and hopefully he's back. We won't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, for sure. All right, just remember who delivered y'all the bad news. And then I know a lot of haters, especially from that end of the season there with Georgia and Ohio State. There's probably some haters that maybe think I'm delivering bad news, but I think overall this is good news for Tennessee, especially as halfway through the season he got hit with some potential moves, but Tennessee did sign defensive coordinator Tim Banks to an extension, so he will be back in 2025. I don't know the details. Have they released that?
I don't think they have released the details.
So I don't know what that extension looks like, but probably did have some suitors this offseason, and that was a way to secure a long term for Tim Banks, who I think has done a good job. Can he improve on some things? Absolutely. I think he's done a good job. It adds consistency, and it allows, I think, this defense to. I think they lose some pieces especially with Jermod McCoy being out. Hopefully not for the whole season, but probably at the start. lose some pieces, so it's going to be tough to replicate what they were able to do in 2024. But I do think they bring back some guys that can allow them to build on some success and get better in some areas, like at linebacker, for example. So I think overall this is great news, I would say. I think Tennessee, from a defensive standpoint, at least from the coordinator and then a few of the position groups, are in a really good spot. So I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, I agree. He does a great job, recruiting these guys. He's kind of built up this defense. You mentioned Jermon McCoy and those linebackers. This defense was one you leaned on the entire year because the offense just wasn't up to par. Without that defense being as good as they were in those games, you don't make it to the college football playoffs. So for those that are like, oh, man, we're keeping Tim Banks. I mean, realistically, who are you going to get? And would that person even have worked? You just don't know because when Tim Banks took over, this defense was atrocious. I mean, they were horrible. And now they are the strength of this team. Right. So I think it is good to kind of keep that familiarity with Tim Banks at that defensive coordinator and just continue to keep that defense intact, or that defensive staff intact, and just go attack another year. You don't have to start over on defense and see what you have or see if you lose anybody because they're here because Tim Banks or anything like that. I think this is a good thing for the program. Yeah, would you have liked to have a better showing on defense in the two best teams you played this year? Sure. But you weren't in the position to even face an Ohio State with that defense getting you there. So,
for sure. Yeah.
And held 11 teams to 11 teams under 20 points. Vanderbilt ran a kickoff back, but so that still counts. So, yeah, Georgia and Ohio State are the only teams that scored over 20 points on Tennessee this year on defense. So,
yeah. It's got to make you feel better about some of the potential swing games in the SEC that your defense is. You kind of know what you're getting out of them. You have a better feeling. Obviously, still, like we said, some groups to fill. In fact, James Pierce finally announced his intent to enter the draft.
Last second.
Do what?
Last second.
Yeah. That's a big hole to fill. But I think Rodney Garner's put the pieces in place that you might not feel it perfectly. Let's do it again. Dalton Connect to Chaz Lanier. But I think you've got guys that can maybe kind of team up and fill that void. And then I gotta think Tim Banks is still getting his groove. I have faith because I've seen it done. I've seen him call good games. I think his play calling will get better.
Well, I think the personnel, you look at how you've recruited linebacker, how you've recruited safety, how you've recruited defensive line, the Leo position. You've done a pretty good job of recruiting young players, and they've played those young players. They've rotated and got people experience. Would Jeremiah Thielander and Aaron Carter had as good of a year as they had if they weren't rotated in their freshman year? Probably not. So I think they've done a good job of just kind of getting the most out of everybody that they have, and now they're recruiting at the level that they should to bring guys in, bring talented guys in, and I think that defense should remain the same.
Yeah.
In a way.
There's going to be – it may look a little bit different kind of how it goes about its business. But, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on Tim Banks. I think there are mixed feelings. And even if you're kind of it's not great, but it's not bad either. It's good. And, so even if it's something I guess neutral like that, I'm curious kind of everyone's thoughts. So I would like to hear the people's voice.
Yeah, we did get a question kind of about Tennessee football, so I'll go ahead and get to that. All everything says, what football position groups do you think will be top 5 in the SEC next year? Personally, I'm only confident in the D-line.
Yeah, only confident, probably the D-line. Confident I'm not.
Punter.
Max Gilbert, special teams, baby.
Yeah,
Just
special
give-
teams in
blanket it.
general. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if it'll be a top 5, but I feel it'll be a big jump, and I think potentially. So I don't know if I'd say confidently in the top 5, but potential to be there. I think the linebacking group has a chance especially if they can improve in the pass game. I think that group has a chance to make a big jump.
Yeah, I think they could. They've recruited well. I think Arion Carter, Jeremiah Thielander. I think they would really like Edwin Spillman. Obviously had some injuries last year, but should be back full go. And then, Jaden Perlotti, Jaden Harmon. We'll see what Christian Gass, if he plays linebacker or kind of that edge position.
Mm-hmm.
But they've recruited really well at that position. I think those guys that played a lot last year only take a bigger step. So I like the linebacking group. Yeah, are they top 5 to be determined by? I think they do have the potential to be, sure.
Right.
I really like Aaron Carter.
I do too. Big fan. Joey, big fan. A lot of big fans of Arion Carter here.
Nephew.
Nephew.
I was trying to think. Could tight ends be that?
Yeah, I get it. Just so much relies on that offensive line, man.
Yeah.
So, we really need the offensive line to take a big jump and be in the conversation. That's what we need.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And then after that, I think the rest can kind of take care of itself.
And until Tennessee doesn't run the football well, I'm going to just assume the running backs are probably going to be in that conversation every year, no matter
like
who's
that.
running the ball.
I like that. I think they have potential to be a really good group next year. It would be even better if it's you find a stud in either Deshaun Bishop or Peyton Lewis. But I think as a group, they have a chance to be really, really good. Top 5, I wouldn't go that far.
That they do have a visit for I think starting today with Star Thomas from Duke. So he had 871 yards, 7 touchdowns for the Blue Devils last year. So I think that would be I don't know who's your number 1 back. But again, I go back to my point. Whoever's run the ball for Tennessee, I feel like they're going to be just fine.
You got some faith.
Yeah.
All right.
I like Deshaun Bishop. I like Peyton Lewis. We'll see what Dwan Morris can do, Justin Baker, and then maybe land a guy like Star Thomas to just kind of fill out that running back room.
Sure. Do you see where Jerry Mack's the head coach at Kennesaw State now? Speaking of running backs, shout out. What a dude.
Yeah, Heupel doing that coaching tree.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Where was he at? Houston? Where was he before? He went to the NFL. Well, why can I not remember? Where?
He went to the Jaguars.
Jaguars. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Kennesaw State.
Good for him.
One of the favorite teams to play in college football.
Really? Like to play them because they're not good? Or?
Well, one of the teams you can start with because they're really bad. Yeah.
Sure.
And you got that Georgia hotbed recruiting.
Sure.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I haven't played that game in a while because I was like, man, I'm going to play this game and be really good at it. And I played it, and I was not as good as I used to be at it.
You got to grind, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't come easy. You got to grind.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten pretty good at the game.
Okay.
Pretty good. I'm decent. Tulane's in the running for a national championship. I know you guys care about my dynasty. Tulane will be in the playoff once again. Round 1 will be tough. Got a conference championship tonight against Tulsa.
Okay.
So 22, ranked number 22, Tulsa. So the Americans healthy. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
American Conference is healthy. I know this isn't really a segment. I do want to mention something. When's the last time you've eaten KFC?
Pre-COVID. Probably.
It's been a while.
Their Power Bowls? How you feel about them?
I've never had one, I don't think.
You've never had one? Not even the OG?
I feel like if I eat KFC, it's like in a big family setting where you just get the buckets.
Okay.
I think I've had it like
let me
5
Let me
times
put you
too.
on to something. They've got Power Bowls, and they've got a bunch of – they used to just have the one with, like, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, and, like, chicken tenders on them.
Yeah.
That one's delicious. You can never go wrong. They now have an option for – it's mac and cheese with Nashville hot chicken in it. And, buddy.
Fire.
Don't sleep on KFC in the fast food game.
How is
And it's filling, too. And it's like $7-8.
Really?
Yeah.
You said it's filling? It's not like a big bowl?
It's not huge. But, I mean, it's just mac and cheese, and then you can get regular chicken, too, if you're not in the hot game. But they have Nashville hot chicken you can put on it.
Okay.
I was full from it.
Does
I
it come
got
with a side?
it doesn't. I got fries because I was like, I might not be full from this. I ate about a quarter of their fries, and I was like, I'm full. I finished them because their fries were gas, which shocked me. I
The
didn't.
wedge ones, right? They're like those.
I had just like regular French fries
For KFC?
I think they did used to have wedge, but no, these
It's
were
been
just
that
regular,
long,
and they were
I-
seasoned excellently.
Okay.
I didn't finish them. I guess I had like 2 or 3 left. No, I pretty much did.
Yeah, my Mamaw that lived in Vestal, that was her favorite place to get was
Mamaw
KFC.
was doing something right. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she's like, it was like after church. I just remember going to that.
Checkers now.
Yeah, that KFC like right there. I was just like, yeah, let's get, I don't know, 4 buckets of chicken. I don't know how much it was.
That's a lot of chicken.
Yeah.
snack,
Now we're eating.
Oh yeah.
snack wraps are coming back too.
Are they making their rounds?
Yeah.
All right.
All's well in the drive-through world.
Where at?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Snack wraps.
Ooh.
Yeah, you remember those old honey mustard chicken snack wraps? Yeah.
You know what I did the other day at McDonald's? Got an apple pie at like 8 a.m.
Needed it.
I slapped.
Dude, have
McRib's
y'all
back.
tried
And then
one
they
at
said
Buc-ee's?
it's 2 for $1.50. Would you like 2? I was like, fuck. I'm not gonna lose money.
No. right.
Have you tried the one at Buc-ee's, the apple pie? Somebody told me it's incredible, but I haven't tried it either.
What do you think about Buc-ee's?
I love it.
Really?
I think it's awesome.
Oh, Buc-ee's is probably it's
It's one of my favorite places on earth.
I began loving it ironically. Like I was like, it's so tacky, I love it, and it's grown into a true love.
Yeah. It's like it gets so much love that it's kind of annoying, but
Nah.
I do love it.
I don't like the fakers. You're right.
Yeah.
If you don't go in there and walk out with a fire pit and a burrito, you're not a real one.
I'm anytime like I pass one, I stop, no matter what.
I have a Bucky the Beaver stuffed animal.
That's fair. That's cool.
Wait, you don't like Buc-ee's?
I hate Buc-ee's.
Come on,
I know.
dude.
Which is
I
really,
take a picture of the mascot every
which
time
is a
I'm
hot
there.
take. I know. I think it's just because every time I do it, like when I'm on a road trip, like or like anything longer than
I hope you never go on a road trip with us because that's all we do is stop at Buc-ee's.
It's like an
We will
hour.
go out of our way to stop at a Bucky's.
It's not like I hate. Like I know at some point I'll come around to it, but like every time I go, I'm just like, get me out of the car. And I go in there and like a couple like 400-pound ladies are bumping me over with their carts because they're
It is
shopping
chaotic. It's chaotic.
for Bucky stamped granite patio tiles, and I'm like, where? What, don't you guys just sell? Like I'm used to Wawa, right? Like I love being able to get
Wawa's cool too.
food and like
It's not a Bucky's.
the drinks.
It's
no,
not a
no,
Buc-ee's,
they're not even
no.
comparable. But
The pralines.
I mean, again, foods. and
Buc-ee's
stuff's
like a
good. It's
Wawa and
just-
a Lowe's.
If I had the Buc-ee's to like maybe 100 people in there max, but there's always like 400 people in there, dude.
Yeah,
like it's
it
just
is.
a nightmare.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
But
like
they do a good job with traffic flow.
They do, and the bathroom's really nice. So I give them
See,
credit
I'm
where
not.
it's due.
They're clean,
They're clean.
but there's something about like a big bathroom like that. Like I can't unless emergency. I can, but like I will never choose to poop at a Bucky's.
As opposed to where else besides the Lowe's.
I'll wait.
I got
Okay, well that's
I got a story.
Like
for
I said,
y'all.
unless I gotta go, I've done worse for sure. It's just something about those big bathrooms. Not comfortable. Can't get in the mood.
I felt so comfortable pooping out of Buc-ee's that I forgot to lock the door, and a guy walked in on me, and he just said, "Oh my God," and walked away.
And you're not even mad about it. Bucky's it's safe enough in there that you're just like, I don't know. I felt at peace with that.
My boss had to go to Georgia today, and it was a long story, but he ended up having to wait, so he was just sitting at Bucky's, and I was like, hey, if you want to make your day better, go in and get some pralines. And what I kind of meant, but it was a tough day for him. What I kind of meant was like, bring me some pralines tomorrow. So I'm going to be pretty upset if
Well,
I
if he
don't
just
have
ate
There is
them.
not a shot
no.
he brings you pralines.
There's a shot, but not a long. No, it's a long shot. I mean, I meant for him too. Like, go in and get you some pralines. Maybe pick up 2 boxes, one for Caleb to take home.
Yeah.
We'll see if he got the hint. I didn't want to say it directly. I probably should have, but I didn't. I was a coward. There is also a Bucky's 3 minutes from my office, so
Oh, that would be dangerous.
it's more than 3 minutes, but it is close.
Yeah, I'd be there every day. We have a buddy that works at Swaggerty's. And
Yeah,
he's
he is 3 minutes. He is 3 minutes from Bucky's.
He's there every day.
I probably will go to Bucky's tomorrow afternoon, honestly.
There you go.
So if I don't have pralines in the morning, I'll have them in the afternoon.
Dude, their chicken tenders?
Gas.
You need-
See, that's the
oh
thing. I'm
my
not eating like a lot of their food either. I think I tried their brisket once, and it was
This is
like
why
Have you had the
Buc-ee's.
sliced brisket sandwich?
I've only had like the shredded.
Shredded's delicious too, but their sliced is
I
very
thought the
good.
sauce was kind of mid last
See,
time.
that's
I
my
don't know
favorite
what's
thing,
going.
too,
I
is-
think I just need to go in like with a fresh mind and like.
Dude, that
Fresh cut
Right.
brisket on the board.
I think if I go to Buc-ee's, not going to Arkansas or Oklahoma or like wherever and stopping at Buc-ee's. I need to go to Buc-ee's.
Okay.
Like go.
Well, no,
Well,
it's the
hold
same
on.
thing.
Pause.
Yeah, but I need to know I'm going.
You gonna be in town next Saturday?
Yeah, but we play at home, don't we?
What time?
Mississippi State.
No, that's Tuesday.
Or sorry, who do we play Saturday? That's at home.
It's I'm gonna have it. Oh, that's Auburn.
Oh,
That's at Auburn, so it's away. Okay, next Saturday. Group trip to Buc-ee's.
Let's do it.
yeah. The game's not till 8:30,
Yeah, we've got plenty of time.
but I gotta start drinking by like 12:30. So
we
if
can
go
get
the
beer
morning-
at Buc-ee's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm so down.
I will buy you beer at Buc-ee's.
Okay, we can do that. I'm so down to go to Buc-ee's, and we can like. I want to redeem my Buc-ee's because I don't hate Buc-ee's. I just don't like it yet.
And we don't have to go far. It'll take us 25 minutes to get there. Yeah,
I do hate IKEA though. Despise.
that's
if you
fine.
burned every
I
IKEA in this
have
planet,
no
I don't care
preference
about
towards
I hate
IKEA.
IKEA.
I am so glad we got here. Don't know how we did it, but it turned into a Buc-ee's trip next Saturday. That fires me.
Look at that.
If anybody else wants to join, just let us know.
Actually,
and
yeah.
We'll just take a full-on parade to Buc-ee's.
We'll rent a van if we need
Do you
to.
think Buc-ee's will let us tailgate in their parking lot?
I mean,
I mean,
the
everybody
game?
else does.
I was going to say they
For the
can't.
game.
They can't exactly stop us.
People
Yeah.
people spend 4 hours inside of Buc-ee's. So
Yeah.
what's the difference of us spending 4
Every
hours?
time I'm
outside
there,
of
I
Buc-ee's?
like.
We could stay at a gas pump for 4 hours.
I try to find something new to like try.
That's crazy. See, I know what I'm getting, guy.
That's
Well,
me.
I also
I'm
get
a
that too,
two.
but I also want to try something else to see if I want to add that to my list when I go back.
But we're gonna get everything so Joey can try it.
Okay, let's do it. One more question before we do that. More Important Issues is presented by Hovey Dry Goods. Joey's rocking the hat tonight. Just great people over there, great hats. So go check them out at hoveydrygoods.com. Use promo code MORE for 15% off your first purchase. Again, promo code MORE, 15% off your first purchase. hoveydrygoods.com. Do it.
They're clean.
Clean. One question. Thoughts on Tennessee baseball this season being ranked number 4 in D1 baseball's preseason ranking?
Just for the people that were saying we should have automatically been 1, that's not like
It's not a given.
that's never how that really works, especially when you send off most of your star players. Like it's
Yeah.
just and again, if we won a national championship, I literally don't give two rats asses about preseason rankings because we're just gonna go do the damn thing. But
Yeah.
I understand, I do for argument's sake and to get angry about something.
I think you're top 5.
Yeah, you're
What is it?
right there where you should be.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not
that's
disrespectful.
that's projected to go to Omaha, and then what happened? Like anything can happen in Omaha.
That's right. Ask Hunter Inslee.
Yeah, ask Blake Burke. Ask
Xander Sechrist.
Dylan
Became a-
Dreiling.
Not that he wasn't.
Ask Florida State what they
Not-
think about
right.
it.
Not that he wasn't creeping on hero status, but Xander Sechrist became a hero in Omaha.
Yeah, I just think like I do enjoy the rankings now where a couple years ago Tennessee would be good and then they would like lose a lot of people and they drop them back really far and then they'd be right back where they were. So I just think D1 baseball is just like,
They're sick of moving them.
yeah, we're just like going to keep them up here and like we don't have to move them as far. So yeah, I think don't doubt Tennessee. I think they're talented. I think there's a lot of new faces, just same as last year, same as the year before that. Tennessee just reloads. A lot of new transfers. A lot of guys kind of making that next step.
I'm excited to hear Tony Vitello's thoughts on it.
Yeah.
He's gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Not as much as like Kirby Smart would, but he's not. He's gonna be like, I just don't get it.
They're not that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of new arms too. So excited to see that. And I think the first pitch banquet next week, I'll be there.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Got the
Where's it
invite.
at?
Need those details.
That would
It's
be important.
it's probably at one expensive hotel somewhere.
Okay.
In Knoxville.
What are you
So-
wearing?
I don't know yet. I was thinking about wearing like the same suit I wear to every wedding. But I don't know.
Okay.
It might be just a little nice jacket and some khakis.
You need to get you an orange sport coat.
See, I think that's too much. You can't just like
I think you got to go all in.
because I think people are just like, oh yeah, you're the dude that does the
Tarps off.
podcast. Yeah, it does tarps off.
You don't. He doesn't go tarps off. He's a coward. Says he does.
I
He does
did it at the wedding.
did it.
He does at weddings. He does
I
at
did it
weddings.
at weddings.
He's
I did
he's
it at
scared to
the-
do it at baseball games.
I've done it before.
You've done it one time in the MVP seats, but you talk about it like you do it every week in the MVP seats.
Well, I can't do it every week.
Yeah, you
then,
can't.
Then it loses.
If you
its
do it
fun.
once, you might as well do it every week.
I feel like I'm getting too old to do it.
You are, but that's kind of what's funny.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird. Like
Yeah,
You're
especially
not-
if there's like young kids around you. It's a little.
You're not-
in the moment. I'm like, that was awesome, but like 2 days later, I'm like, that was kind of.
You're not showing up, painted up.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't do that.
I think it'd be weirder if he. I think it's weirder if he just.
He's not just doing it for like one home run. It's a big moment.
That I get, but I think if he showed up, I think that'd be more normal than him just taking his shirt off. Or, again, it depends who's around him.
I'm not asking him to do it for midweek games,
Yeah.
even though he says he will.
Yeah,
I
like
do.
a-
I'm not
like a
asking
walk-off.
that.
How about first Grand Slam of the season at home, tarp off?
Yes,
And
in
you-
February.
Maybe you just
Oh,
plan.
God.
Yes.
just plan. Again, it's for
that's
2
okay.
minutes.
Against like Charleston Southern.
You're not
Right, right.
you're not showing up in May doing it where everyone's like, "What is this douche doing? Put a shirt on." Do it in February. It's funny.
Yeah,
True. And it's cold.
there's a lot more
You're gonna
layers
look-
to
you're
take
gonna
off.
look- You're gonna look
That's
tight.
what's funny.
I feel like it loses.
Yeah.
Sweatshirt,
It
hold
takes
this.
me so long, it like loses its flavor. It's like,
Yeah, I
dude,
mean,
the
sorry,
next
touchdown.
batter's already like 2 pitches in.
I like Joe's idea. I think you need to do it.
Okay.
You just have to
I'm
plan
down.
it beforehand. That way, it's not maybe give everybody a warning. Like I'm gonna take my shirt off because again,
Yeah.
you're like an 8-year-old bumming shoulders with you, and you're just like he looks over and your shirt's off.
You could inspire a generation of tarps off kids if you just do it and stop being a coward.
You could.
Think about it. It could die with you because you refuse to do it.
All right, I'm in.
I'll do it.
Alright,
I'll do it
Landon's
with you.
in.
Peer pressure.
That's all I needed. I'm done for the night. Thank you all for listening, Landon. That's it. You said it. I'm out.
Okay.
Also, Landon, your banquet's at the Maker Exchange in
Oh, thank you, sir.
downtown, or well, on Clinch.
Caleb's out. Joe, you want to do a little stupidity real quick?
Sure. Do you have it?
Yeah, I have one. So this Hayes Fawcett, love the guy. I think he does a good job of what he does. He mentioned that the new college football 26, the cover should be Jeremiah Smith, Arch Manning, and Ryan Williams. Guys, we not learn, let's not put Texas quarterbacks on here. We've already learned it once. Let's not do it again. And Arch Manning hasn't done anything.
Yeah. You can't preemptively put him on. the cover.
Like it would be if they did that, you could literally put on that clown meme. Like it's like all the
Yeah.
Army guys and the one clown. Like Jeremiah Smith and like Arch Manning has no business being on the same picture as Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith.
No, not at all.
So I think that's really dumb. And
You
you
talking
gotta
about
have
the-
you gotta have a defensive player in there somewhere.
You talking about the clown or the three-headed dragon? You know that one?
That-
The
that- that's
two
one too.
serious
Yeah,
ones
yeah,
and the
yeah.
silly face.
Yeah.
That would
That's a good one too.
very much be.
Did
that.
we get our first court storming of the year? Minnesota beat Michigan at the buzzer. Is that the
Oh
first
man,
one?
I saw that game on ESPN.
Is that might be the first one? It was an ugly shot, but it went in, baby. Sorry.
Michigan down bad. Hate to see
Don't be
it.
sorry.
Do you have any stupidities? Anybody else got any?
I mean, we can talk about the scumbag at the Eagles game. There's nothing to it. I mean, I
Was
will.
this you officially like disavowing so you're not associated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it very,
All right,
let me make
okay.
it very clear on the radio waves. Even though I am from the awful city and state of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, I do not condone
If you had a profile, what would your hometown be?
Knoxville.
Knoxville. Okay.
100%. Born
Okay.
at UT Hospital. I only like Tennessee sports. I cheer for the Eagles. Yeah, my dad's big. I'll cheer for them. I'll go to the games, like whatever. But I'm not a fan.
I don't think I realized you were born here.
You're not a fan of the Eagles?
No.
Do you have a team?
No,
I thought you were an Eagles fan.
No, like
You'll cheer for 'em?
I'll cheer if they're in like a Super Bowl against the Chiefs, like they were.
Oh,
like
like
I'll be
you're
like, oh yeah,
bandwagoning it.
no,
Oh.
I won't even put on
You
an
ain't
Eagles
Taylor
jersey.
Swift.
I won't even
Okay,
put on an
got
Eagles
it.
jersey. I'll wear a black sweatshirt like I am now and just be like, I'm cheering for the Birds, but I'm not.
Oh, the Birds.
I went 2 weeks ago to the Eagles Giants
I
Week
got
18 game, and I was just cheering for Jalen Hyatt to get a catch. Like I was rooting for chaos. I
Did
wanted
you-
the Eagles
did
to lose at the end.
EAGLES. He's trying.
No,
He's
I don't.
so
want,
trying
I know the
so
song,
hard
and I know
not
the
to join
song,
in.
too. Like obviously when I was younger and stuff, and like with the Super Bowl and everything, like it was fun to be there. But like I wouldn't cry over that team. I will say I'm a Phillies fan. That's the only like professional.
Okay.
How do you feel about the movie Invincible?
Is that with the Vince Papali?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah.
I think he does a
Is it
terrific
Mark
job.
Wahlberg?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Terrific job.
Why was I thinking it was
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I guess it is Mark Wahlberg. It's
Are you thinking of like?
replacements is Shane Falco is
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not Keanu Reeves. Good movie, but yeah, just nothing I wouldn't expect from an Eagles fan. I do think it. I've heard way worse. Apparently now it's coming out that the Packers fans like kind of asking for this, and like apparently he's an ass too. Mm-hmm. I applaud him for not swinging on that dude or like dragging him down 10 rows because I know I would, but
yeah, somebody's called my wife something. It's on.
And dude, this is normal. I was there last week and like a father like
also the Eagles are winning.
Yeah, they were all distraught over their loss to the Commanders.
What
And
in
like,
the
we're only
world?
15-3 or whatever.
Well, they're
Like,
just
it's-
always assholes. So
Yeah.
Sorry, Joey.
No, again, don't say sorry. I know they are. I went to high school with all these kids. In 10 years, they're going to stick around that area and still
Do
live
the
with their.
same
They're
thing.
going to be
Yeah.
living with their parents, and like went to maybe.
Calling them out.
I don't know. Went
Hope
to,
they hear this.
I hope they do too. They went to Westchester University. It was like the highlight of their career was doing a keg stand at Westchester when they were 23. Like, they
Sounds kind of sick.
they stay the same age forever. So you got
Joey,
these-
we're literally doing that in the Buc-ee's parking lot on Saturday.
right, but we it's different from the South.
different.
It's different.
Yeah,
It means
yeah.
more. It's the SEC.
My last tangent, real quick. We mentioned the replacements. I read something the other day that, and this is the second time in like a month that we've mentioned Tony Robinson on the show. Did you know that the Shane Falco is loosely based on Tony Robinson?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, so
he played in the replacement season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah,
So who was the kicker? Because that dude's awesome.
Yeah, he does rock. All right, that's it. That's all my tangents. Maybe.
What
Can't
do y'all
promise.
think about Harrison Bailey
Possibly,
Transfer?
possibly going to Florida?
Okay, walking on again, like at
Probably.
Louisville.
Yeah, the Gators are looking for quality.
Does he
depth.
think he's going to start over DJ Lagway as well? And
Probably, yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, like you can come here.
That
and then
I'm sorry, Harrison Bailey. That wasn't a shot at you. I'm sorry.
why would you not go somewhere to play?
BHF.
That makes no sense.
Some guys
to me.
like you just got to know your role. Sometimes, Landon. Some guys just like being a part of the team.
Okay.
I like supporting the guy in front of them.
I mean, Blue Mountain State like put like
Yeah, we're
backup
Florida, though.
quarterbacks. Like, yeah, expect that. Thank
Backup
you.
quarterback is the dream job, though.
Well, I agree.
He's getting to his dream a little earlier.
I agree, but why leave Louisville? Why not just be the backup there?
Have you been to Louisville?
Also,
I've been to.
He's
Florida
he's
too.
gonna live in Hot Springs.
High Springs.
High Springs.
Yeah.
Also, Florida's not hot right now. Todd Golden with the
Oh,
sexual
yeah.
assault stuff, and then just came out like an hour ago. Their assistant coach, Turing Green, also being investigated for sexual something. So
Okay, he's gonna live in High Springs though.
yeah. So
Great
go to
town.
Florida.
Away from all that.
Great town. I would go back. Would.
I saw this text thread on Twitter. I thought it was funny. It was Gia Duddy, the
Right.
yeah,
Will
Will Levis's ex. This guy got a text from his girlfriend and said, "Why do you follow a rando makeup influencer?" LOL. And his reply: "She dated an NFL quarterback that I wanted the Bucks to draft, so I followed her. I forgot that I did, to be honest." She said, "But you aren't following Will Levis." ...
She knew exactly what he was going to say in advance. I think
Wow.
the biggest stupid moment was him wanting the Bucks to draft Will Levis. I don't.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
That's the worst cover you could have had.
Yeah.
Even
Ditch
she
him
knows
because
that's
he
dumb.
was
She knew
rooting
you
for
were
that.
She was like,
lying.
"Yeah, you're lying. Nobody wanted Will Levis." I did see the. So I mean, this is all a rumor and likely not true, but it'd be awesome if it was. So the report is that Ram star Byron Young thought the Raiders were drafting him. Vegas called him, and then when his name was announced, the other Byron Young was selected. 7 picks later, the LA Rams selected Byron Young.
Do they know? Like, are they? Like,
The difference, obviously, between Bama versus Tennessee's
But
edge rusher. Byron
did
Young.
they know?
That's,
they drafted
now
them?
Everyone's saying if this could be the most Raiders thing the Raiders could have possibly done was drafted the wrong Byron Young. Because then he was dropped. Wasn't the other? I mean, I didn't really read into it, but I mean, I'm thinking off the top of my head.
I don't remember how it happened, but I mean, known Tennessee fans saying this. I think they drafted the wrong Byron Young.
It's possible.
That's awesome.
Because they cut him.
They're
Because
all-
the Raiders
they're-
drafted
they're on
Byron
the
Young
phone,
and
like-
they cut him later.
They're like, yeah, we're excited to get you here from Tuscaloosa, and he's like, what?
Yeah, now
Oh,
he's with the
me
Eagles,
too.
isn't he?
That I don't know. But
That's awesome. I didn't even think about that being a possibility, but that rocks.
Well, what are the odds you draft a guy, cut him 7 days later, or
Yeah.
however long it was after, and then the next Byron Young gets picked. I mean, I
think
really
even if I didn't pick the wrong Byron Young, I think I would say we picked the wrong Byron Young.
I'd have to let him see how he plays first. Cause
You know
right,
what else
right.
is
It'll be
funny?
like you're saying, like you drop him.
ESPN has Byron Young, and it's actually Tennessee Byron Young in a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, but it's the Byron Young defensive tackle
Wow.
for the Eagles.
Does anybody have the right Byron Young? Like,
I don't know if I know the right Byron Young at this point.
Are we wrong now? I mean, edge rusher.
That rocks. That's such a good story. I did not see that.
I'll have to deep dive on it and,
Yeah.
and see if I can find it.
And it's like it's obviously like on ESPN. They like you can see the Rams jersey underneath the
Oh, no.
Eagles jersey.
No. So they've even
They
this
don't
could be
even
a-
know.
I
I have
think
no idea. I don't know. I don't expect anyone.
I would
else to necessarily.
expect a multi-billion-dollar league office to know
I've seen-
even just a position difference, but like both defensive, like around the same area, like
That wouldn't be the dumbest thing I've seen an NFL office do. Front office. do.
oh god no, especially for the Raiders. But
Yeah.
that could be. We
Could
could
be
see
it.
that could be a cool Netflix miniseries
Sure.
because I would love to see the GM meltdown. And you might, if I like am the GM, I'm probably thinking like, oh, perfect, we got our guy. I'm not going to notice the difference on the phone. Like it would take him doing reps at practice before I'm like, wait, where are you lining up at? Like that would probably be the first time I realized we got the wrong guy.
That's hilarious.
Like, yeah, Nick Saban's at practice today. He's like, cool.
I mean, you're not doing like face, like you're not remembering these guys' faces that well.
Oh, the Raiders.
I love that.
Great franchise. Guys, thank y'all for listening. Anything else from anybody? Guys, good to be back in studio. Joey, good to have you back in Knoxville. Needed you, miss you. Can't wait to see you at Buc-ee's on Saturday.
Next
I'm there.
Saturday.
Next Saturday. Thank y'all again for have a good weekend. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.